The Shy, Season 5, Episode 10, titled I Am the Blues. Ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name of the Black Abstract. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, make sure you like, subscribe, and notification bell. Also, this is the series finale. Yes, it's over. It's over. No more Shy till another year. This season, it was alright. It was alright. Way better than last season, Season 4. Kind of redeemed itself somewhat, but it's still a work in progress. And you remember one of the things I said earlier in the season was that this show took out the street element, which was one of the big things of this show. You know, with Reg and them, they completely last season just got rid of it. This season they're easing back into it with the return of Q and then the death of Q. And I guess that's something Duda's fully willing to embrace. He's saying, listen, this is who I am. I'm the bad guy. I'm going to take the heat. I'm going to be this guy. And that's what he's continuing to be. Before we get started, I need to give a shout out to my sponsors, PrayForBuffalo.com. Make sure you go over there, enter the promo code ABSTRACT, and you get something off your order. So PrayForBuffalo.com. You can get you some cool shirts. This is a new hoodie that just dropped. And we lit like that. So let's talk about it. It starts off with Duda and Victor in the car, and Duda is dragging Victor into some shit. And Victor's like, listen, why are you bringing me to do this shit? And he's like, listen, because I can trust you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, no, he said other people don't have nothing to lose. That's what he said. He didn't say I can trust you, because he definitely can't trust Trig at all. And listen, I get why Trig's mad, but I don't understand why Trig is moving the way he's moving, especially with somebody as dangerous as Duda. As much as Duda wants you to do or perform a specific task for him, he don't really need you. He can get rid of you anytime he wants to. He got rid of Reg, your brother, quick as hell. I don't know why he's moving like this. You know, why? I don't understand why he released the video. He's not mayor anymore. It really can't hurt him unless the guy decides to sue him or press charges. That's the only way it really could hurt him. But if Duda just lays low and don't be seen and not be found, it can't really do nothing to him. I don't know. We see, but Trig is riding around that car mad as hell, and they buried Q's body together. Next we see Tiffany and Emmett co-parenting successfully together. Both in good spaces. Both seem happy. And it sucks that they couldn't work it out together, but that's a good thing. Tiffany for the streets. I think Emmett got the better deal. Keisha's a fine melanin woman. Nice. So, listen, I think he got the better out the deal. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, it was good to see them successfully co-parenting. Emmett's on this shit. He's talking about the parent-teacher conference for their son, which was hilarious. They all showed up. So I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. Next, we see Kevin and his girlfriend deciding or counting the money up and seeing how much money they had. And he had a couple thousand there. And for some reason, he is telling Simone that he wants to leave his parents' house because, he feels like he's restricted. And I'm like, dude, you're like a fucking kid still, first of all. And then secondly, it's not that deep. Like, they should be worried if they see that money about where you're getting it from. But all it could have been alleviated if you just would have said, all right, yo, come into the thing with me. He don't really understand, I don't think, how real it is living on your own. But Kevin is just so emotional. Kevin is a typical high schooler. You know how they say high schoolers are the most depressed, or they feel like they got the most. They feel the most stressed out about shit. It's like, Kevin, you stressed out about fucking nothing. All the little dumb shit you done did to your parents, and they done had your back, and you just being an asshole about nothing. I don't like Kevin's character. I think he's a great actor, but he's just overly emotional about everything. You know what I'm saying? And he's just not likable to me. That's just me, though. He started off cool, but his character just got progressively worse. Him and Papa's. Jake, for that fact, too. We see Trig and Duda arguing. And that's when he tells him, you know, I needed somebody that I can not trust, but somebody that has something to lose. And you know, Triggs are visibly upset, and I I get it. I get it, but at the same time, it's like Trig, this ain't the first time you done put some work in or did some shit, and you know, dude ain't gonna let you get no heat because obviously what you're running for. But I get it. It was a play for Duda to kind of like, yo, I got something over you. You know what I mean? Like, hey, in case you try to, I got this over you. I can say you did this. Next we see everybody at this class. You see Tiffany, or not Tiffany, Keisha Finance in there with her beautiful smile and teeth. But it's funny, everybody's taking shots at each other. The verdict's not out on you and Emma yet. And like, I'll check each change. So they are interacting. We see that Jada didn't invite Duda to the wedding with good reason because there's a lot of shit that transpired in between. And but that was good that they're all bonding and you know, they're getting ready for Jada's wedding and whatnot. We see Trig talking to Gemma's dad. What, I always forget his name. What's his name? Marcus. About the tape, releasing the tape. And he agrees to it, and he's just like, yo, when should I drop it? And Trig is so mad. Yo, Trig's so mad that dude. I ain't gonna lie, I'd be mad somebody too just put up and was like, yo, get in. And there's a fucking body in there. And then there's another thing. That body wasn't even dead yet. I don't see how the fuck Q wasn't dead yet. He was back there moving around, and dude shot him twice more. I'm like, dude, ain't no way his old ass body would have still been alive after taking all that heavy metal. No way. Next we see Trig, or not Trig, Nuck and Duda go to Q's house just to look for things he might have had, you know, cash. And we see that, and we learn that Tiffany's man, my boy Iman, is actually the nephew of Q, and he's the one who supplies. Q was the one supplying him. So Duda tells him to contact. He tells Tuck to contact him and tell him that, you know, business is going on as well, because I guess he brings in a big profit for Q, and he's the one that introduced him to the LA Connect or whatnot. So right now, Nuck is like his main right-hand man and shit. So I'm like, okay, I'm glad they brought him back into the fold, because I actually like his character. He seems just like a real street dude. So we see Gemma and Maisha talking, and Gemma comes up with this harebrained scheme to take some of her college tuition money and fund Maisha's career as a manager. And of course, her fucking dad agrees to this shit. I'm like, okay, this don't make sense. Next thing we see Tuck hanging out with the boys. We see Trig's car pull up, and Nuck walks right up on him. And I'm like, yo, how long was you sitting at a stop sign for? Because if you look at the scene when it cuts away, it's just a stop sign. Like, what kind of stop sign? What kind of stop did you? I heard a complete stops, but damn, ain't no way he should have walked up on that car. And if you should have been looking around and aware of your surroundings. But we see that he gets saved by Bakari, and they respect Bakari out there because they know Bakari is a real hitter. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty dope. But I guess he's trying to mend the fences with Jake. So I don't know if you could call him even, but I guess it's a step in the right direction. You get what I'm saying? Darnell and Jada, you know, they're happy about their wedding, and they have agreed to abstain from sexual intercourse until the day of the wedding. And listen, I couldn't help but be happy for these two old timers who done came a long way from the first season. You know, I love to see happy endings, and I love when things come full circle, and you know, old flames that you didn't think were going to work out happen to come back around, and next thing you know, you guys are, you know, cuddly and all back in love again. And Darnell is one of my favorite on the show. That's my guy. And he said, there's Bluetooth coming down the aisle. Next, we see Trig talking to his boyfriend. And, you know, just, you know, whatever they talk about. Next, we see Jake and Gemma having a discussion. And she's telling Jake to tell Trig about what happened with Tuck. But of course, he doesn't want to say anything because he's like, listen, Trig got enough on his plate. I don't want to take it there with him. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I think he probably should have told him, but who knows how Tuck or Trig might have reacted if that had came to play, which is weird because Tuck knows that Trig is working with Duda, or I would think he would know that. So if he did something to Trig, obviously that will fall back on him, and Duda probably would have to do something to him because Trig's ultimately working for Duda. So, yeah. Next scene, we see the parent-teacher conference scene, and we see that their son Emmett and Tiff's son has advanced and improved from the last meeting. And Keisha's talking about stepping in, or how she helps out, and she does the flashcards with him, and she does a little dance, and she's so cute, man. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, babe, if you watching this. You know what I'm saying? Keisha, we would love to have you over at our house if you ever in Buffalo. Is that better, babe? Anyway, and the teacher was cute too, by the way. And they're walking out and they're all happy, they're cool, and the teacher actually tells Keisha, listen, it's an assistant teacher opportunity open up, you should apply for it. So I'm guessing that's what Keisha probably is going to be doing next season at the school, and that they're going to bring the school back into it because that was a part of the earlier season. So we'll see what happens. We see Tiff and Keisha have a long overdue conversation about what happened, and this was not the showdown we were expecting. I don't know. We thought we was going to get some hair pulling, some titty popping, some boob popping out, and nope, they handle it like adults. Lame TV. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's what you're supposed to do, but these girls from the Shy, I don't know if shit would have been that civilized, but whatever. It is what it is. We see Emmett and Rob actually decide to slap each other up, and Iman's like, cool. I was like, yo, this shit's so corny. We see Gemma, that's what I forgot to mention. Gemma tells Jake she wants to work at Smokey's, and Jake starts laughing because when she said it, I start laughing too. Like, what? Like, Gemma, what are you doing? Like, just stop this. But Papa's he ain't taking it easy on her. He's like, listen, you got to mop the floor. You going to have to do this. You going to have to do that. And straight like that. Papa ain't taking no short. Papa like, you ain't getting the easy right out just because you my man, BM or whatever. And next we see Jake iron some shirts for Trig that he made for his conference, and they bonded again. And I thought he was going to tell Trig right then and there what happened, but he didn't. And things decided to happen, or he was just happy and he was telling Shad. So that made Jake feel real warm and mushy inside, and him and Trig have been kind of distant this season for whatever reason. So it was good to see that they had a moment. We see Duda shows up to Tracy's house and pretty much tell her like, listen, I am what I am. You can like it or love it. And they decide to split it off. But I don't know. She likes bad guys. As much as she won't admit it, she really does like bad guys. So, they have a little intimate moment or whatnot. And but this is before the shit get released to the video or whatever. Next we see Shad is about to tell, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with these niggas on the Shy. Shad is about to tell his girl that he cheated or slept with the old girl. But she comes with some news of herself, and she tells Shad she wants Shad to move in with her. Or she wants Shad to move in with Shad to move in with her. I'm like, oh, wow. And Shad just completely forgets. Listen, Shad, don't do like Emmett did. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. It happened. It was a mistake. Get past it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be fucking all caught up on that shit. You know what I'm saying? I know you're a good dude and you want to do the right thing, but sometimes it's just better to shut the fuck up. And, you got your beautiful woman. You cleaned up yourself. You looking fly and shit. You looking way better than last season. You look like you had just got out of jail. So I like it. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. We see Tuck pulls up the Rob house and said, listen, Q dead. And he like, how I'm supposed to believe you? He shows him a picture. And he said, yo, business gonna go on as usual. And he said, yo, who did it? And he like, hey, it's better if you don't know. And he walks away. And I'm like, that was weird. But one of the things Tuck said was that Rob didn't fuck with his family. And that's something we learned earlier in the season from Rob, that, you know, he didn't really fuck with his family like that because just, you know, probably because of shit like this, you know what I'm saying? So he didn't seem too bothered by it, but he was just, you know, like, damn, what the fuck you doing here? Like, what you doing at my house, nigga? We see Trig telling Tracy to stay away from Duda because he got some shady dealings going around, and obviously with the tape that's about to be exposed. And right after that minute, he decides to call Marcus and tell him to release the tape. And yeah. Next scene, we see Kevin talking to Lene, and Lene, and you know, they get the news that they adopted her, and she's happy, of course, as she should be. And you know, Kevin's sitting there depressed as normal, and you know, she's happy, but she's just learned the news about Kevin, so she's kind of sad. So she got to kind of get in the moment, and Kevin got to play it off too. And I'm like, yo, well, this is all messed up. Kevin, you need to chill the fuck out, man. Just stack your bread up, bro. Buy a house if you're gonna move. Don't fucking just get an apartment. Next at Smokies, we see Emmett closing up, and Emmett and Duda have the long overdue meeting that Duda was talking about you know, franchising Smokies. And I don't know if he's gonna do a flim flam and try to take the place from underneath Emmett, like Emmett did Sonny. We'll see though. But they have a conversation, and you know, you can see Emmett is obviously scared because he know what he did to Brandon, and but at the same time he's talking nice to him. He's like, listen, man, that's what I want to do. I want a franchise. Yeah, I want some money. Yeah, I want, you know what I'm saying? So it's a decent conversation, and we're gonna probably see a different Emmett next season. I can't wait to see Emmett with some money. Emmett gonna be pulling up in a Benz. Emmett deserve it, man. Emmett been he been putting some work in for a minute. We see Shad moving out. Him and Trig have a heart to heart, and he gives him a hug. And I thought he was about to tell Trig that he slept with old girl too, but he realized that it's better not saying nothing. It's not worth losing your love or your friend over just some shit that was meaningless and was kind of like had no point of valor to it. We see Gemma ask her dad for the money, and he's like no at first, but then he agrees to give her some of it and give her a year trial. And after a year, if nothing pops off with Maisha, she has to go to school. But when she was saying she didn't want to go to school all of a sudden, I was just like, come on, Gemma, like, what are you doing here? We see Tracy packing up shit at the office, and, you know, that's when the video gets released to Duda. At the same time, Duda's watching, and he's upset, obviously, and visibly and obviously. And Tuck's like, yo, what you gonna do? Like, you gonna get out and make a press release? And he like, nah, like, I ain't doing that shit. Like, and then he could say it's nothing, nobody, like, he not married no more, so people don't really care. And then come to find out, some people are actually champion what he did. And, you know, they're like, yo, he's human. Shit happens. You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude should have fought back. I think I heard somebody say dude should have fought back. But that wasn't the case. But he comes up with the harebrained scheme. He said, yo, I need my eyes and ears to the street, because I need to know what's going on. And he's like, yo, I know the first person. I know who the first person to get. And they go to Bakari and offer him the gig. And, you know, obviously Bakari thinks it's a snitching job. But Duda's like, yo, how do you know this little nigga real? He was like, yo, nigga pulled a gun out on me. He was like, so he put a gun out on you, you ain't do nothing? He was like, because I know this nigga a killer. Like, they respect Bakari out there. Bakari a real Chi-Town, Chirac goon out there. I was like, oh, okay. And also when he walked up on Jake, I don't know if y'all realized they was using Chicago lingo when they say, if you go back when they was standing at the corner, he's like, yeah, man, I'm following them. That's that Chicago shit. They always be saying that shit, all the rappers. I'm following them. I'm following them. That's like saying, oh, God. I'm following them. Next, we see Bakari walks inside Smokey's, and he tries to get Lynette's attention, and she sniffs right out the gate that he's up to no good. And he like, damn, like I can't win for losing. We see Duda and Tracy have an interaction, and that's when they kind of must break it off. Where he decides to keep his distance because he said, "This is who I gotta be. I gotta be the bad guy." Next is the wedding scene, man. Beautiful wedding. From our bride and groom. We see Keisha catch through the bouquet. So hell, who knows? Emmett might propose next season, I'm guessing. But everybody's having a good time. We see Emmett dancing, Keisha dancing, Tracy dancing by herself. The cake and everything just looks fucking delicious and good. And I'm happy for these people. We see Darnell and Jada go to the front of the house, and he's asking her if she likes it, and he tells her, "Listen, I saved up my bread and I bought you this house. This is our house now." And she's happy. Next, we see Emmett shows Keisha that painting they were looking at a couple of episodes ago, and that she bought it. And she like, "Yo, how you get the money?" And he tells her, and she like, "Well, ain't that dangerous?" And they decide to have a conversation. Kevin decides to tell his parents that he wants to be emancipated because he wants to move out, and they like, "Listen, that's not happening." For whatever reason. Next, we see the announcement of Trig running for whatever council member. I don't know what the hell this nigga running for. But he breaks away from his speech and he decides to tell the truth about who he is and his sexuality, and he admits that the girl they put there for him was just kind of like a prop, and he decides to live in his truth. And let me tell you, that suit Trey had on was dope. But I just don't know what he sees in this person, and I don't see how you get over Imani that fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was together for years, and he just completely found somebody new. I don't know why he don't want to give Sisters a tryout. I don't know if it's an agenda just to make black men on the show all look crazy, or not like they got their shit together. I don't fucking know, but it is what it is. They got mad baby mamas. They uneducated. They getting girl. They just I just want Kevin Pryor is the only one that got his head on straight for the most part, but it is what it is. All in all, I rate everything with microphones. If I had to rate this season of The Chi, I would give this season a 3 out of 5 mics. I thought it was decent. It was kind of, it had some forgettable moments, but it was okay. It was all right. It was okay. It didn't bother me as much as last season. Last season was horrible. It stepped up a little bit, but it's still not to the prominence of the first and second seasons. And I don't know if it ever will be. Post your comments below. I want to know what you guys think. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And as always, peace, love, and prosperity. I go by the name of the Black Abstract One.